About 3 years ago, I made the wildest decision. I said I was done buying sneakers, clothes, accessories, anything, because I was only doing it to impress people and be a part of the culture. And so I had to make a decision that I was no longer going to do that. The reason why is because initially at that moment, when I decided that I was buying more shoes, I was going to buy more sneakers, that I was going to be ahead of the curve or be a part of the culture, I was spending hours and hours on things like StockX, Hype Beast. I'm standing in line for Stussy, for Supreme, trying to buy all the Jordans, and none of it actually made sense. So I realized I can't afford this stuff. I cannot afford to look this cool. So I started buying the knockoff stuff. Or if it wasn't the knockoff, it was a different brand, but it was a cheaper version. The knockoffs, they look like knockoffs. I don't care how good the replica is, it still is a replica and you know it. So I said, I want the real thing. So the only way for me to get the real thing is I need to stop purchasing, get my money together so that I can do that. So that was my initial drive. But then I got a mentor. Unexpectedly, didn't ask for it. It just happened in my life. I got a mentor, and this guy started to tell me how we hold on to things, right? He said we hold on to these things and we never actually like open up or release anything. So it's impossible for us to fit more into our hands after we get to a certain point. He was referencing God and our relationship with him in life, and how sometimes there's so many things that we hold on and we need to control that we don't even have room for God to bless us. And so I took this selfishly again initially, and I started to go in my closet and I started to get rid of stuff. And I go down to 2 pair of shoes, like 2 pair of jeans, a few shirts, recycling the same outfits over and over and over, with the thought that, if I get rid of these things, I can make room also for God to bless me. Well, what I didn't know is that God's always got a different plan. I started to find contentment in having little and just having God. And God used that as a way to start freeing me instead of giving me more of what was just going to trap me in people's opinions. I started finding more peace in God's presence in my life than I did of, having all of these shoes and then having my own safety net or whatever. Things started to develop, like me and my lady, who I'm still with to this day, started buying each other 1 pair of shoes every year. And for us, we wear that same pair of shoes to work, to church, on dates, to hang out with family. We run marathons. We go to the park. We go on walks. We just chill. And it's literally in that same pair of shoes. Because what I found is that we began to develop this mindset of getting out of consumerism and to start focusing more on making investments. And so we need our clothes and our shoes to have longevity. So things like Hokas that I can wear every single day. Which brings me to my next point. My mind shifted on what those things meant and how I valued them, which means that you won't catch me in a pair of Jordans. You won't catch me in a pair of exclusive releases, $400, $500, $600 shoes. Not just because that I'm not amused by them anymore, but also because of what they represent and what they say about me. It's less even the fact that you think I'm cool and more that it makes me feel less cool. The fact that I would work as hard as I work and then spend my money on something to have your opinion about me. I still have friends and family and a community around me at times that they still are impressed by those things. And it's not that I'm not happy for you. It's just that I have been able to develop and free myself from that very, very same trap that these people are still in. And to be honest with you, a lot of the times, and I remember it for myself, we don't want to be free from that trap. We don't feel like it's a trap. We like that because sometimes that's our only win. And that's cool. But for me, he freed me from that because of that decision to walk away from it. So, as I said again, I'm no longer amused. I no longer value those things. What was initially for me to get more things has become this piece of not wanting much of anything, but wanting more time. There's a quote, and I'm not going to quote it right at all, but it talks about how you don't value the man that pulls up next to you in the Lamborghini. You don't value the man that sits courtside on a Friday night at a Lakers game. But what you do is you value and you envy the guy who can get up on a random Tuesday and go hike a mountain or something, because that's the freedom. It's the freedom of time. Choose not buying those things, not being, pressed into consumerism, not trying to impress people has allowed me to just focus on the woman that I'm with. It's allowed me to just focus on those moments, to be in that moment now. At one point, you couldn't catch me in a pair of dirty shoes or an outfit that didn't make sense. Now I don't care. Now people laugh at me, but I'm okay with that because I'm having a good time. Now I can focus on the conversation. Now I can develop the character I am. Now I can enjoy where I am at those moments without worrying about how we look or without worrying about what you might say about me. And I think that that is the biggest freedom, which has also translated over into business. So now I don't mind looking stupid because I understand that there is still a goal, and I understand that there's a God, and that as long as you mix work and faith, that things will they're gonna work together. So what is it that you can get rid of? What is it that you can stop? What is the sneaker in your life that you don't have to keep purchasing to free yourself?